Hello everyone, this is Ben Robson. I'm going to tell you a story that takes place in Lanzarote, the volcanic island. In this really long video, I'm about to tell you a story about two friends, Carla and Stephanie, who go to Lanzarote for their holiday, but they also go there for a mission to find a stone inside Timan Faya's mountain. But if you want to read it to yourself, you can turn off the volume, and if you want to take a break, you can add it into a watch later list. So sit back, get yourself comfy, and enjoy the story. Situated in the North Atlantic Ocean, just off the coast of Africa, is a volcanic island known as Lanzarote. The island is filled with wonder and beauty, and it was home to many different island creatures. People would visit the island on holiday to relax and enjoy the beauty the island had to offer. A long time ago, there were volcanic eruptions. The lava and flames would rise, creating mountains of fire. Then after a while, the eruptions would cease. The island would cool down and peace would return. During one such eruption, a mountain called Timan Faya was formed on the island. According to legend, inside the mountain a mysterious and magical stone was created by the lava. One touch would cause a stone to ignite, consuming whoever touched it with fire. It is told that if this stone is cast into a lava, a secret door would be revealed, and through that door would be the largest, most beautiful diamond the world has ever seen. This diamond was formed in the heart of the volcano and had great value. But who would dare to enter the dangerous tunnels of Timan Faya to retrieve it? One day, a man named Philip Peterson and his colleagues were having a meeting to discuss how they may find the legendary flaming stone from the volcanic island of Lanzarote. Philip says, "Alright gentlemen, our task is to travel to Lanzarote to retrieve a flaming stone from inside Mount Timan Faya." Keith Bryan and Thomas Lee listened carefully to Philip's plan. Keith says, "This mission could be dangerous. There are tales that this stone possesses great power." Philip says, "Yes, it's called the Flaming Crystal of Timan Faya." Philip showed them a drawing of the stone and a map of the tunnels inside Timan Faya. He said, "This is not the first time I have tried to find this stone. Some time ago, I was part of an expedition led by Kevin Brogston. Kevin died in a rockfall inside the tunnels, and we abandoned our search. Kevin's daughter Stephanie has made it known as she would continue her father's work to retrieve a stone from the museum. She has factual information that we need as to how we can recover a stone safely. Kevin had this information, but was lost before he could share it with us. I believe he discussed this with his daughter before the expedition. We must find out when Kevin's daughter plans her journey." Stephanie Broxton had a part-time job at a cafe serving refreshments and food. On this day, her best friend Charlotte Greggs, or Carla as she was known to Stephanie, called by to see her. Carla says, "Hey Stephanie, how are you today?" Stephanie says, "Hi Carla, all good here. How is it going?" Carla says, "Oh, it's fantastic. Could I order a panini and coffee, please?" Stephanie says, "Sure thing. Coming up." As the cafe was empty, while Carla was having her food, she was able to have a chat with Stephanie. She says, "So, Stephanie, how's a job going here?" Stephanie says, "It's good. I have been learning how to prepare all the different drinks and food that we sell. I love the cream shakes." Carla took a sip of her coffee, and she said, "Cream shakes? Is that like the cream crawl that you get at Costa?" Stephanie says, "Yeah, just like that." Carla had finished her food and was preparing to leave. As she gathered her things, she turned to Stephanie. She said, "Alright, Stephanie, I'm off. By the way, I am planning to go somewhere sunny for a holiday soon." Stephanie says, "Oh, that's good. Where are you going?" Carla says, "I was thinking about Lanzarote." Stephanie was surprised to hear what Carla said. She was also planning to go there. Not just for a holiday, though. She needed to complete her father's work. Her father promised the museum an artifact, and that promise had to be fulfilled. Stephanie says, "Oh, Carla, that's great. I am planning to go to Lanzarote as well." Carla says, "Really?" Stephanie says, "Yeah, why don't we go there together?" Carla says, "That's a great idea. Make a booking for both of us. Let me know the dates and I will take time off work. We will have such a good time. I can't wait." Stephanie went to see a local travel agent to book a holiday. After she left, the agent made a phone call to Philip to disclose Stephanie's travel plans. He had been well paid for this information. After leaving the cafe, Carla cycled home. She lived with her two little dogs, who were Staffordshire Bull Terriers, Staffies, named Ted and Sydney. Carla entered a house, and Ted and Sydney came running to greet her with hugs. Carla says, "Hey Ted, hello Sydney, I know I'm home. Have you two been good today?" Woof, 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 woof. Once a dog settled, she had a video chat with her parents named Roger and Jenny Greggs, and her younger brother Matthew Greggs. Carla says, "Hi Mum, hi Dad, are you alright?" Jenny says, "Hi Carly Carr." Roger says, "Hey Charlotte, how are you doing?" Carla says, "I'm doing great. I must tell you, my best friend Stephanie is coming to Lanzarote with me." Jenny says, "Oh, that's nice." Roger says, "How's she doing at the cafe?" Carla says, "She's alright. Would you be okay to look after the dogs when I go on holiday?" Roger says, "Yes, of course it would be a pleasure, as always." Carla smiled at her dad's remark. She knew he loved them. Then her younger brother named Matthew said, "Hi." Matthew says, "Hey Carla." Carla says, "Hi Matthew, are you alright today?" Matthew says, "I'm all good. What about you?" Carla says, "I'm doing good. I'm going to Lanzarote on Sunday." Matthew says, "Are you?" Carla says, "Yeah, me and my best friend Stephanie are going." Matthew says, "That sounds great. Have a good time and don't forget to get me a gift." Carla says, "Alright then. I'll see you all when I bring the dogs round." Jenny says, "Looking forward to it." Carla says, "Thanks, Mum. I love you all." Roger says, "We love you too. Good night." Carla says, "Good night." After the video call, Carla settled down on the sofa to watch TV. Ted and Sydney sat with her and Carla told them all about her holiday plans. Carla says, "Hey Ted and Sydney, I'm going to Lanzarote on holiday with my friend on Sunday. I'm afraid it's too hot for you too, so you will be going for a little holiday with Mum and Dad. I know Dad spoils you, just make sure you are well behaved, okay?" When Stephanie got home to her flat after work, she sat down on the sofa and picked up a picture of her dad, Kevin Brookston. As she held the picture, she began to talk to him. Stephanie says, "Hi Dad, I just got back from a cafe where I met Carla today. We talked about going on holiday together, and she agreed to come to Lanzarote with me. She and I will have so much fun together, and I have not forgotten about finding the stone of Timan Faya while I am there. Carla could help me, then we could enjoy a holiday there together." Stephanie spent the rest of the evening just relaxing and enjoying her dinner after a busy day at the cafe. It was time to depart for the holiday. It was a Sunday morning, and Stephanie made sure she had everything packed and ready to go. She bundled everything in her car and set off to pick up Carla and her dogs. Carla was ready and waiting, her bags packed and the dogs ready for their holiday at her mum and dad's. Carla was looking out of her window and saw Stephanie arrive, then rushed outside to greet her. She was so excited about the trip. Carla says, "Hi Stephanie." Stephanie says, "Hey Carla, finally a day has come I have been looking forward to this so much." Carla says, "Me too. Let me get my bags in the car, then we can drop the dogs off." So the two friends drove off to the airport to catch their flight to Lanzarote. After dropping the dogs off at Carla's parents' house, the girls set off for the airport. It was quite a drive and they talked about many things. This gave Stephanie the chance to tell Carla about her father. Stephanie says, "So, Carla, I never told you about my dad before. Maybe now is a good time." Carla says, "Okay, I would love to hear about him." Stephanie says, Some time ago, he also went to Lanzarote, but not for a holiday. He promised the museum he would recover an object, for them. His mission was to go to a volcano called Timan Faya. This is where he and his team were hoping to find a legendary stone. However, in the tunnels of Timan Faya, there was a terrible accident. His team made it out, but my father never left the mountain. Carla was shocked to hear what happened to Kevin Brookston and said, "Oh, Stephanie, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear this." Stephanie says, "That's alright. I was thinking that I could find the stone for the museum and fulfill my father's promise." Carla says, "Wow, this sounds exciting. I will help you, and once we have the stone we could just relax and enjoy our holiday." Stephanie says, "Oh, I am so pleased. I knew you would be happy to help me. Then we will spend time on the beach, go swimming, and explore the city." They arrived at the airport, Afloat International Airport, parked the car, then caught a bus to the terminal. On entering the terminal, they checked a departure board. This would tell them where to deposit their bags and where to go to catch their flight. The flight departure was announced. Stephanie and Carla presented their boarding passes and took their seats on the airplane. Carla was reading her magazine, while Stephanie just relaxed and looked out of the window. Carla says, "I checked the weather forecast. It's going to be nice and warm. This will be the perfect holiday." Stephanie says, "I know, I'm so excited." Carla says, "Maybe I could return to Lanzarote one day with my family. I bet my brother would really like it." Stephanie says, "Yeah, maybe I'll tag along as well if that's okay. What do you think?" Carla says, "Yeah, absolutely." Some hours later, the airplane touched down on the runway at Lanzarote. The adventure was about to begin. Stephanie and Carla went through passport control, then looked to see where they could pick up their bags. Then with everything loaded on a trolley, it was time to catch a taxi to a hotel. Stephanie and Carla left the airport and caught a taxi to a hotel where they were staying. The taxi driver took Stephanie and Carla to a village where there are lots of villas. The hotel where they were staying was called Villa Blanca. Stephanie was chatting to a driver and told him they were staying for a week. The taxi stopped. As the women got out, Carla says, "Thanks for a lift." Taxi driver says, "You're welcome. Have a good week, ladies." Carla and Stephanie said thanks. They checked in their Villa Luna Mar and were given keys to their room. They dropped off their bags and decided to go and explore the local area. Carla says, "You know, Stephanie, it is a very nice day. Let's go outside and have a look around. What do you think?" Stephanie says, "Good idea. It does seem lovely here." On the first day of their holiday, Carla and Stephanie took a walk through the town of Lanzarote. Stephanie says, "Wow, this town is brilliant." Carla says, "It is. So where would you like to go?" Stephanie says, "I would like to find a shop called Calzedonia. They sell great clothes." Carla says, "Okay, that would be good, I think. It's at a place called Biosfera Plaza." So Carla and Stephanie made their way to a Biosfera Plaza shopping centre. It was full of colourful shops and food places, crowds of people walking around. The place was so big they could spend all day there. The ladies found a shop they were looking for and spent some time browsing before buying some clothes for their holiday. They left the shop, each with a large bag filled with new clothes. After shopping, they found an attraction which was a submarine. They bought tickets for a short trip underwater. The submarine left the dock and slowly submerged underwater. Carla says, "Wow, these fish are beautiful." Stephanie says, "I know, it's so awesome. It's like something you would see on TV, with soothing music included." On the second day of the holiday, Carla and Stephanie went on a camel ride. Carla says, "Oh, aren't these camels just lovely?" Stephanie says, "Yeah, they are." Carla says, "Just be careful though, because they can spit or bite." Stephanie says, yes, I know, we just have to sit back and enjoy the ride. They were a bit wobbly though. By chance, a camel ride took them to the foothills of Timan Faya. Stephanie says, this is so much fun. And look, Carla, there is a mountain we need to return to when we search for a stone. Carla says, oh wow, it's going to be so exciting. Then she spoke to her camel. Oh, you're such a good boy. After the ride, the camel dropped to its knees to let the ladies get off. They stroked the camel's neck and thanked it for the ride, but took care not to get nipped. The ladies got back into a hire car and returned back to Playa Blanca. They would have supper and make plans for the following day. On the third day of their holiday, Carla and Stephanie went to Largo Verde to see the Green Lagoon. Whoa, Carla said when she saw the green lake. This lake is amazing. Stephanie says, wow, Carla, it does look amazing. The water looks very exotic. Carla says, yes, it does. I must take some pictures. Stephanie says, that's a great idea, Carla. So Carla took a photo of the lake on her iPhone. Stephanie says, wow, that's a great photo. Would you send those pictures to me? Carla says, yeah, absolutely. She sent 2 pictures to Stephanie's phone. Stephanie says, thanks, Carla. And Carla says, you're welcome. I should also send it to my mum and dad. Stephanie says, yeah, I think you should do. Carla also sent the pictures to her family. After walking around the Green Lagoon, they found a restaurant for dinner. The restaurant, they go towards the Costa Azul. They sit down together and look at their menus. Stephanie says, so, what would you like to have? Carla looks at the menu. Then she decided, I think I'd like to have tacos. Carla finished a choice, and Stephanie decided to go for the same and said, yeah, I think I'd like to have tacos too. Carla says, that's a good choice, Stephanie. Best friends like to have the same meal. Stephanie says, yes, they do. So the girls are having their tacos with salad and there's strawberry juice to drink also. Carla took a bite of a taco and said, that is so good. On day 4, Carla and Stephanie went to the beach to do some sunbathing together. Carla was feeling relaxed, just lying in the sun. Stephanie says, it's so hot today, we must put on our sun cream. Then Stephanie says, we are having so much fun together, but we must remember we have yet to recover a stone from Timan Faya. The next day, Stephanie and Carla took a boat trip to tour the island. The boat had a glass bottom, so you could see all the colourful fish swimming around. At one point during the trip, the boat stopped in a beautiful bay, and all the passengers were allowed to jump off the boat and have a swim. After swimming the boat, crew served up lunch of fresh fish followed by watermelon. On that very same day, Philip, Keith, Thomas, and the other men arrived at Lanzarote by ferry. Philip says, alright guys, finally we have arrived, so we can begin a search for a stone. We will check in at our hotel and make plans to begin our mission tomorrow. After a boat ride, the girls went to a cafe in Biosfera Plaza. They talked to each other about how much they enjoyed their time together in Lanzarote. Carla says, I think my favourite part was exploring the city and shopping. Stephanie says, I enjoyed the camel ride and the submarine tour when we saw all those wonderful fish. It's all been fun, but now we need to make plans to recover the stone. Carla says, okay, so where do we start? Stephanie told Carla everything she knew about her father's trip to Timan Faya and how she thought they could find the stone. Philip knew where the girls were staying and guessed at this time of day they met in a cafe nearby. It didn't take him long to find them. Philip says, hello there, I recognize you. You are Kevin Broxton's daughter. I am Philip Peterson. You may remember me. Stephanie says, hi Philip, yes I remember you. What a coincidence. This is my friend Carla. Carla says, it's nice to meet you. Philip explained why he was here and said, So, Stephanie, it's no coincidence I am here. My colleagues and I are returning to the volcano of Timan Faya to attempt to recover the stone your father promised to the museum. Stephanie says, "Oh wow, we are planning to do the same." Philip says, "Well, why don't we look together? We may be able to help each other. Meet us there tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Stephanie says, "Yes, I'll do my best." Carla, what do you think? Carla says, Sure. That would be great." Stephanie says, "Yes, we're good for tomorrow." Philip says, "Okay, good. Sleep well, and oh, I am so sorry about your father. It was a most unfortunate accident." Philip turned and walked away. The day was coming to a close. The sky was getting dark with the moon shining brightly. Stephanie and Carla went back into a hotel at the Villa Blanca city. Stephanie unlocked the door. Stephanie says, "After you." Carla says, "Thanks. I'm thinking tomorrow will be a really exciting thing. I am so looking forward to it. What an adventure." The girls decide to go for a late night swim at the hotel pool. Carla says, "Wow, it's so nice to have the pool all to ourselves. In the dark, the pool lights look magical." Stephanie says, "It does. It looks lovely." The two friends lounge in the pool for a while before going inside to get ready for bed. Stephanie set the alarm on her phone for 7:10, so that would give them plenty of time to prepare for a day's adventure. "Good night, Stephanie." "Good night, Carla." On that same evening, Philip and his men were making ready to depart for the volcano at first light. Keith says, "Alright guys, Philip said that he has found the two girls and persuaded them to help us search for a stone." Thomas says, "Okay men, it's time to get some rest. At 7:30, everyone be ready to move out." Together the men replied, "Yes sir." Philip says, "Hello gentlemen. One of the two girls joining us is a daughter of Kevin Brookston. She has the knowledge to help us recover a stone safely without anyone getting burnt. Kevin's daughter is called Stephanie, and she has a friend who's coming along with her friend called Charlotte Greggs." Thomas says, "Oh, I see." Keith says, "So we'll see them tomorrow when they arrive to meet us at the agreed place." After that, Keith and Thomas talk to the other men about the two ladies they're going to meet. Keith says, "Alright guys, Philip told us who can help us find the stone tomorrow." Man 1 says, "Oh, that's great. Well, Philip told us about Stephanie. Who is Kevin's daughter? And does she have a friend?" Thomas says, "Yeah, her friend's called Charlotte. She and Stephanie are very nice people." Man 2 says, "I see. Tomorrow's going to be fantastic." Keith says, "Get some rest until dawn." Keith, Thomas and the rest of the party rest until the beginning of a new day. The next morning at 7:15, the alarm went off, waking Stephanie and Carla. It was time to prepare for the mission to recover a stone of Timan Faya. Carla says, "Alright Stephanie, we have a big day ahead of us." Stephanie says, "Yes, it's going to be a long journey. We'll call for a taxi, then we'll take a bus into a desert to Mount Timan Faya." Carla says, "Yeah, let's make sure we take plenty of water with us." Stephanie says, "Yes, we can take some of those bottles we bought yesterday. It's important we keep properly hydrated. If we need more, we can buy some before we take the bus." Carla says, "Okay, it looks like we are all set. Are you ready, Stephanie?" Stephanie says, "I sure am. I mean, we sure are." Even in the taxi, it was very hot, so the girls decided to top up on supplies before getting on the bus. That would be a long ride to a volcano, and they wanted to arrive fresh, ready to begin the search with Philip. On the journey to a volcano, there was not much to see in the desert, just the odd palm tree here and there. Sleeping in a palm tree near the foot of a volcano was a gecko named Gike and a hoopoe named Simone. The noise of the arriving bus woke them. Gike yawned and stretched and said, "Ugh, Oh yeah, what a great morning with the sun rising over the mountain. As he said, as he looked into a distance and saw something. Gike says, looks like a bunch of humans walking towards a volcano. Simone also woke up and said, Good morning, Gike. What is that you see? Gike says, Yep, those people are walking all the way up to a volcano. I have no idea why they would do that. Maybe we should go find out. Simone says, the volcano's way too high. And a long way away. Are you sure about that? Gike also saw two girls getting off a bus nearby and he said, Hey, that's it! Simone says, What is it? Gike says, Looks like those humans are heading for the mountain as well. Why don't we see if they would give us a lift? What do you think? Simone says, Well, that would save us a lot of effort. It's got to be at least a couple of miles. But if they can't give us a lift, okay, agreed. Gike said to himself, And I know just where to start. Stephanie and Carla were walking along a path towards the volcano. Suddenly, they heard two mysterious voices. Carla says, Stephanie, did you hear something? The male voice says, Yep, you heard me. I am the guardian of Lanzarote. Female voice says, Hey, I'm the guardian of Lanzarote too. Male voice says, Oh, I mean, we are the guardians of Lanzarote. We are here to see who is walking towards our mountain and why. Stephanie says, Okay, you need to stop freaking us out. Tell us who you are. Male voice says, Who am I? I am the magnificent and the one and only Gike. Stephanie says, It's the lizard that's talking. Carla says, Oh, wow. I have never seen a talking lizard before. And you, bud, do you talk too? Simone says, Yeah, of course I do. And I am not just any bird. I'm a hoopoe. Stephanie says, Oh, well, if this is your mountain and you want to know why we are here, we are looking for a legendary stone. Simone says, I'm Simone, the hoopoe, and he's Gike. Carla says, It's nice to meet you both. I'm Charlotte. My friends call me Carla. Stephanie says, And I'm Stephanie Brookston. Carla and I are going all the way up to a volcano of Timan Faya. That's where we hope to find the stone. Gike says, Oh, well, you are not the only ones walking towards the volcano. We saw other humans. Stephanie says, Yes, we were planning to meet with Philip and his group. Gike says, Who's Philip? Stephanie says, Philip Peterson. He's a leader who's been here once before searching for a stone with my dad. They didn't find it, so he's trying again to help us find it. Carla says, So, I was wondering that if this is your mountain, you might like to come with us. Maybe you could help. Simone says, Oh yes, we would like to keep an eye on you all. That would be great. Gike says, Okie dokie, let's get this show on the road. So Stephanie and Carla, Gike and Simone set off together towards the volcano of Timan Faya. While they were walking, Stephanie told Gike and Simone the tale about her father. Gike says, Oh, he sounds like an impressive guy. I guess he was a real adventurer, like Indiana Jones. Stephanie chuckled. Yeah, sort of. But then something terrible happened. Simone says, Really? What happened? Stephanie says, There was a tragic accident and he was lost inside the volcano. Philip and the group returned home without him. Gike says, Oh, that is awful. Simone says, Oh, we're sorry to hear this. Stephanie says, It's okay. Me and Carla talked about it before we came here. I miss him so much. Carla says, I know. He was a really brave person. Stephanie says, Thank you, Carla. That was a nice thing to say about him. Carla says, You're welcome. I'm sure he'll always be with you. Philip and his party were first to arrive at the volcano. Philip says, Alright, this is it. There are two entrances to the volcano. The left one would lead us to a stone. Keith says, I see. The girls should be here any minute. Philip says, Excellent. When they arrive, we'll go inside together, but we must let Stephanie be the one to find it. Only she knows how to handle it without bursting into flames. Philip's men all agreed this was a good idea. Then Stephanie and Carla finally arrived. Gike said, "Alright, Stephanie and Charlotte, this is it. Time to search for your stone." And Simone says, "Good luck." The Hoopoe and Gecko each climbed into the girls' backpacks. They didn't want to be seen by Philip and his men. Stephanie says, "Hi Philip, sorry we're a little late, but met someone on the way here." Philip says, "No problems, you two. It's good to see you. My men and I will set up camp here. Why don't you head on inside and have a look around? We will join you as soon as we can." Stephanie says, "Okay, we will see what we can find." Stephanie and Carla entered a cave with Gike and Simone tucked away in their backpacks. Inside the cave, Stephanie and Carla began their search, with Philip out of sight. Gike and Simone emerged from the backpacks. Gike says, "Oh boy, this is so incredible in here. It's a good thing we have plenty of water. It's so hot in here." Well, Timan Faya is also known as a fire mountain, so it's well named. It is hot in here. Gike says, "Did you know that there is another cave here that has a restaurant, and the food is cooked by rising hot steam from the volcano?" Stephanie says, "There is? Oh wow." Carla says, "Try not to get yourself too hot by flying around, Simone." Simone says, "Don't worry, Carla. I can use my feathers to cool me down like a fan." The girls and their new friends followed a tunnel downwards in a spiral which took them to a pool of lava. While they were walking, Stephanie noticed some markings on the cave walls. It looked like they were carved a long time ago. Carla says, "Stephanie, what is it?" Stephanie says, "I can see something that I think is Timan Faya's stone. My father told me about this. It was created by earth and fire, and one touched by a human would see them consume it in flames." Carla gasped, "Oh no! What will we do? How can we recover the stone?" Stephanie says, "Look at the drawings on the wall. It shows a stone being cast into a lava." Carla says, "Oh yes! And the next picture shows something happening. It looks like an opening or a door maybe." Simone says, "Ooh, that is a very hot rock. I'm not going to touch it. I'd be roasted." Stephanie says, "No one needs to touch it, Simone. My father had a plan. It's quite simple, really. We just need to find some large rocks and throw them at the stone, and let's see if we can knock it into lava. Maybe my father never meant to bring the stone home to the museum. Maybe he wanted to use it to recover what is in that opening or behind that door." Gike says, I don't see any geckos or hoopos in these wall sketches." While the girls were searching, Philip's men went inside the volcano. Their plan was to follow the girls, remaining out of sight until they found the stone. Keith says, "Alright men, tread quietly. We don't want them to know what we are following." Thomas says, "Once they have found it, and we see how they handle it, then we make ourselves known. I bet Philip will collect the stone when it was found." Keith says, "Maybe they have something to protect their hands so they can pick it up." Meanwhile, Stephanie, Carla, Gike and Simone were following the directions indicated by the inscriptions carved into a volcano wall. They were now very close to their prize. Then suddenly, Stephanie says, "There it is, the stone of Timan Faya." Gike says, "Ooh, are you sure that's the one we are looking for?" Stephanie says, "Yes, but remember we can't touch it. We must explain this to Philip. He needs to know the dangers." Carla says, "You're right, Stephanie. Does he even know about the possibility that the stone may open a door if cast into lava?" Stephanie says, "I don't think so. He never mentioned that to me. I think he just wants the stone." Carla says, "Well, if he arrives and wants a stone, we will never see if we'll open a door. We must make sure he knows about the drawings on the wall." Stephanie says, "Yes, I am sure that's what my father would have done. Let's go and find him. Just as the girls turned to make their way out, a figure stepped out of the shadows. It was Philip Peterson himself. He said, "Well, ladies, any luck finding the stone? It looks like you were leaving." Stephanie was shocked as she didn't expect to see him there and said, We were heading out to find you and explain something." Philip says, "What is it you want?" Stephanie says, "Well, Carla and I found some drawings on the volcano wall. They suggested that the stone was extremely dangerous, which we know as it will burn anyone that touches it. Then the drawings showed the stone being cast into a lava and a door appearing. Behind the door is what looks like a huge diamond." Of course, Philip does not believe what Stephanie said. He replied, "Well, let me tell you something, Stephanie. I've never heard of such a thing. Some kind of magic door? I think you were making it all up, just like your dad did." Philip knew there were great riches connected to the stone, but didn't believe in the door. He went on to say, I think I will be taking that stone for myself. You just need to tell me how I handle it. I've been here once before with your father. He was going to take the stone, so he knew how to handle it safely. It's better I handle it rather than put you at risk, so tell me how." Gike and Simone could see what Philip was doing. Gike says, "Oh, that's not good." Simone says, "I think he's trying to trick them." Stephanie sighed and said, "No, my father would have wanted it to open the door, but then the accident happened. But he did try to warn you from this, until he got hurt." Philip says, "Yes, your father said that the stone is dangerous. Well, let me tell you something. When he and I were here last year, we were so close to recovering the stone, but he got distracted by some silly scratchings on the wall. He suggested that the stone itself was not the real treasure. We argued and I left him looking at the markings on the wall. I went to find the stone myself. Who in their right mind would cast such a treasure into lava because of some ridiculous marks on the wall? So as I left him, it was simple. There were a loose pile of stones supporting some large boulders. I dislodged one of the rocks, came falling down, trapping your foolish father." Stephanie was shocked to hear what Philip had done to her dad. She said, "So, there was no accident. It's because of you. My father's gone." Philip says, "Yes, I didn't find the stone on my first attempt, so I decided to try again and let you get the stone for me. Your father had an idea as to how he could hold it without being burnt, and I know he told you. So stop wasting my time and tell me how to handle it." Stephanie doesn't believe it and said, "I don't believe you. I just don't believe what you're trying to do." Carla says, "Stephanie, are you okay?" Stephanie says, "No, I'm not okay because of what he did." Carla says, "What an awful thing to do." Stephanie pointed at Philip. Even a tear rolled down to her cheek and said, "You are responsible for my dad's death." Simone and Gike were shocked at what Philip had done. Simone gasped, and then Gike angrily said, "Why I order? Let me have him! Let me at him!" Gike tried to attack Philip, but Simone stopped him by holding his tail while flying. Simone says, "Hey, come on, Gike, just calm down. You know he's not worth it." Gike says, "Yeah, I know. You were right." Carla was cross at Philip too and said, "Philip, why would you do this to my friend? You were wrong about the stone." Philip says, "Carla, tell Stephanie to tell me what I need to know, right now." Carla says, "No, Philip, I will not." Stephanie says, "You will not have the stone, Philip." Then Stephanie picked up some large rocks and started throwing them at the firestone. The last stone she threw connected. Philip saw the firestone wobble as Stephanie's stone hit it. Instinctively, he yelled, "No!" and pushed past Stephanie and Carla on stepping stones in the molten rock, and without thinking he reached out to grab the firestone before it fell into lava. He caught it with his bare hand and let out a yell in triumph. Just as the stone ignited and consumed him in flames, destroying Philip once and for all. Philip dropped the stone and it bounced off a stepping stone into lava. Carla and Stephanie were shocked to see what the stone had done to him. Stephanie says, "Wait a minute, where's the stone gone?" Carla says, "Philip dropped it and it must have bounced into lava." Stephanie says, "Well, if those drawings are correct, we should see an opening or a door appear." Simone says, "Okay, so what are we going to do now?" Just as she said that, the mountain started to rumble and the lava started rising. The pillar rose up out of the molten rock, and a door cracked open in the side of the column. The stepping stones merged, forming a path to a door. Inside the door was that largest, most beautiful diamond anyone could ever imagine. The girls looked in awe at the diamond. Stephanie says, "There it is. That is the real treasure." Gike says, "Oh, Mama, I think it's time to leave. I don't like the way the mountain is shaking." Stephanie says, "Quickly, let's grab the diamond and go." Rocks started to fall from above, splashing into a molten lava. As Stephanie and Carla turned to leave, a huge rockfall blocked their way. Carla says, "Oh no, how will we get out?" Gike says, "Don't worry, this is our island, so this is also our mountain. We know another way. Simone, let me jump on your back and let's get out of here." Stephanie picked up a diamond and put it into her backpack. Carla then called out loud, "Thanks, Dad. I did this for you, and you have been avenged." The area began to shake even more. It was like an earthquake. Philip's men must also be in the mountain somewhere, but now it was everyone for themselves before the mountain collapsed. Simone says, "Alright guys, let's get out of here. My feathers are smoking from the heat." Gike jumped on her back and she led the way out. Stephanie and Carla, led by Simone and Gike, ran through twisting tunnels and corridors with rocks falling all around them. After what seemed like an age, they saw the light of the entrance ahead. They ran up one last flight of stairs and they were safely outside. As they emerged from the entrance, they saw Keith and Thomas looking exhausted. They had also managed to escape, but there was no sign of the rest of their party. The two men saw Stephanie and Carla coming out of the volcano. They looked dirty and were sweating from the heat of the volcano. Keith says, "Hey Stephanie, hey Carla, what happened to Philip?" Stephanie says, "Hi Keith, I'm so sorry. He touched a stone and was consumed by fire." Thomas says, "Why would he do that? He knew of the danger." Carla says, "Well, we tried to tell Philip what the stone could do if cast into lava, but he just wouldn't listen. He didn't believe that the stone would open a door. We threw rocks at the firestone to knock it into lava. That's when Philip grabbed it to stop it from falling. After he was consumed, the firestone was lost into lava." Keith says, "Oh no, so our mission has failed? The rest of our party left the mountain ahead of us. We had better follow before this rumbling gets worse. The volcano could erupt." Carla says, "Yes, we need to go, now." As fast as they could, the group fled the mountain with Gike on Simone's back flying above them. After what seemed like an age, they were finally at the foot of the mountain. The rumbling was in the distance now. The group was safe. Stephanie says, "Is everyone alright?" Carla says, "Yeah, I guess so." Whew. Keith says, "I'm fine." Thomas says, "Exhausted but all good here. I guess we need to find the rest of our group and make plans to return home." Stephanie says, "Time to say our goodbyes then. We also need to go home." Both girls thought it's best not to mention anything about the diamond. Philip had proven to be untrustworthy, so better not tempt Keith and Thomas. Stephanie, Carla, the Gecko and the Hoopoe made their way back to the city of Lanzarote. The diamond was safe in Carla's backpack and would soon be in the hands of the museum. While on the bus back to Lanzarote, Carla opened her pack, removed the diamond and passed it to Stephanie. "Thanks, Carla," Stephanie said. Then Carla says, "You're welcome. I'm sure your dad will be proud of what you did today." Gike says, "And it's also thanks to me." Simone says, "And me?" Gike says, "Oh yeah, I mean, thanks to us. We helped you escape." Carla says, "That was a brilliant adventure we had today, and we still have a day left before our flight home." Stephanie says, "Yes, that's great. Time to relax and have some fun together." Gike says, "Yeah, this is a great place to relax and enjoy lots of lovely villages and water parks." Simone says, "And lots of amazing birds and lizards." Gike says, "Don't you mean geckos?" Simone says, "Oh right, birds and geckos." Gike says, "Exactly. We can all enjoy it together, right?" Carla and Stephanie thought that would be a great idea. They would all spend the next day together. Gike says, "Aw, that's made my day." Sometime later, they got off the bus and returned to their hotel. Gike found the hotel amazing. He had never been inside one before and said, "Whoa, would you look at that?" Simone says, "I know, this is a great looking house we're staying in." Stephanie says, "It is. It's not a house though, it's a hotel called a Playa Blanca." Gike says, "Right, I see." The girls showered to get rid of the grime from the volcano and put on clean clothes. Then it was time to relax on the sofa with a cold drink. Gike and Simone sat with them. The group spent the evening talking about their adventure and making plans for the following day. The diamond was locked away in the safe. On the last day of their stay in Lanzarote, Stephanie, Carla, Gike and Simone decide to go for a walk at Biosphere Plaza. Simone says, "Wow, I really like this town. How about you, Gike?" Gike says, "Yeah, I think this is a cool place, but I have to be careful that no one steps on me." Then Gike said to Stephanie, "Hey Steph, thanks for having us along today." Stephanie says, "You're welcome, Gike. It's been a pleasure, and don't forget, had it not been for you, we may not have escaped the volcano." Then Gike says, "Yes, that was some adventure we had yesterday. It certainly was. I will never forget it, and thank goodness we got out with the diamond." After the walk, they sat down at a cafe table, having a chat together. Carla asked Gike and Simone what they would like to do for the rest of the day. Gike says, that's a good question." Carla says, "Have you ever been on a boat ride before?" Gike thought it would be a great idea, as geckos don't normally get to go on boat rides. He said, "Yeah, absolutely. I hope I won't get seasick though." Simone says, "Oh, come on, Gike. I'm sure you'll be fine." And so the girls took Gike and Simone to a chill-out cruise for the boat ride. The girls enjoyed it so much the first time they didn't mind going again. Gike and Simone had a great time. Gike says, "Wow, this big boat is so cool. I just need to be careful I don't fall into the sea." Stephanie and Carla had cold drinks and were talking to each other about their trip home. Stephanie says, "This has been a great day for all of us, but I'm afraid this evening we will have to say goodbye. Tomorrow we must fly home." Simone says, "Oh, it will be so sad to see you leave, but yes, this is our home, so we must stay. Maybe one day you will return, and we will meet again." So the gang enjoyed their relaxing day together, following their great adventure. They had found a stone and discovered how to find the diamond. Stephanie's father would have been so proud. Soon, the diamond would be safe and sound in the museum. Stephanie had completed her father's work. Well, that was a great read-along. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Whoa, wait, hold on. You're not finished yet. Excuse me. You know I'm not supposed to interrupt me while I'm on the mic, but what do you mean I'm not finished? Of course I'm finished the whole story. What makes you think I'm not? You still got one last part left, It's about after when Stephanie and Carla had gone back home with a diamond. Do you mean I have the epilogue? Yep. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll read the last part of the story. Thanks, Gike. Anytime, and good luck. With their holiday to Lanzarote over, Stephanie brought a diamond home and placed it next to a picture of her father. Stephanie called the museum and arranged to visit the following day with the prize. Soon the diamond would be on display for all to enjoy. Well, that was a great read-along. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll be telling you another story about my 4 cats, but this time they have to save a kingdom from the evil invasion. Thanks again for watching, and have a good night.